Alright guys, we are back installing the pump. As you guys can tell, we got the PTO installed, the pump is installed, and one of the issues I run into is I needed to move this, one of these bolts from top and put it on the bottom, and from there I took the stud and put it on top. I did make a call to the people that sold me the pump, and they said it's okay to do that. The reason why is we turned that pump a little bit to the side so we can avoid that obstacle we had up front, and therefore one of those studs, I put a cover, I put this extension on it already, but there's a stud right there which was on the bottom because we turned that pump on its side, so we needed to basically swap these bolts with the studs. And so now we have two studs on top, put this extra fitting on there, and that way we can hook up the support brackets from the transmission onto the pump. So basically what I did is excuse my welds, I'm not a professional at welding, but I kind of put it together, put a tack welds, and took it back down, welded it both sides, and now we're ready to put the support onto the transmission and the pump, so it holds together nice and tight. Everything else should be good on the bottom, still no leaks, everything's torqued properly. Oh, and also when I replaced these, I switched them around, basically this one with this one. These had to be put together, and I was told that torque is 190 foot-pounds of torque to tighten them back up, so pretty heavy duty, I would say. So we did torque them already to 190. I believe it was 190. Let me double check. Yep, 190 psi. So we got that done, and now I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall. What I still have to do, I got these tightened already, and the thread lock on there too as well. The thread locks on these two, and then the ones that are gonna go in here. I'm gonna install that now, and we should be done with the install on the bottom, and then we're gonna move on to the next step. So let me put these brackets back on, flip you guys over. Alright guys, I just need to torque these down. This is basically what it looks like. There's 2 bolts welded all together, and these 2, and everything should be nice and secure. Let me flip the camera over. That's what it says on the instructions, I believe. But yeah, it looks pretty. Not sure if I should have washers here. I'm pretty sure probably need to put washers on there, but we'll go ahead and do that. I still need to tighten those and torque everything down. Torque these down as well. I haven't done it, and should be good to go. Okay, everyone, got everything tightened on the pump and the PTO, and started to assemble the next thing, and just kind of laid out all the parts that I have left. And first things first, what I want to do, I don't have hoses for the pump. And the reason why I didn't order any hoses is I wasn't sure where I'm gonna put the bar, and I wasn't sure how long the hoses needed to be from the pump to the tank and all that kind of stuff. So I put that on the side, and now I'm gonna try to install this bar. This is the bar which sits on the frame, and basically this is where the oil is gonna come out, and this is where you hook up to the trailer. The hose from the trailer going into the truck, or the whole system. That's how it's going to get powered. The trailer is going to get powered by the hydraulic fluid. So yeah, we got to figure out where I want to put this pump, because I also have that filter that I need to install. The problem I'm having is I don't have much space. That's all the space I have is on this side, and a little bit here because of this battery box here on the right in the middle. This whole thing is taken by the battery box. So I don't want to install the filter here. It's going to be a lot of line going back and forth. So I kind of measured it already, and I figure I'm gonna put this bar over here, and that filter is gonna fit right in there. There's an extra bracket they gave you for the filter, but I don't think I'm gonna use it. So basically, I already did some measurements. Here are my marks. I'm gonna drill holes for this. That way it's gonna sit like so, or from the bottom, more from the bottom. And what that's gonna do is this bar is gonna act as a bracket for this filter. It's a pretty big filter, and I don't have a lot of space, so I'm working with what I got. So I gotta drill these holes. I'm gonna try to fit it out there again, and we'll go from there. That way I can, once I have everything in place, I can measure the hoses and have them made out the proper length. So first I gotta install this, and I gotta put the fittings on the tank, and then measure the distance between the tank, the pump, and then the filter to see what kind of hoses I need. So I'm gonna get on with that, and I'll see you guys in a few. All right guys, so this is what I came up with. This is where the hose is gonna go for the trailer. Here I drilled those 2 holes. This is gonna be painted over. For the filter, barely fit in there. And so the inline is gonna come here, and then the outline back to the tank here. It's gonna come down and go back into the tank. This is a return filter, so Here, I'll show you guys. This is what it looks like from the bottom. We got spacing just enough to get to the filter. Should not be a bad way to replace it. And so the hose is gonna come out of the trailer back into the pump, come out of the pump, go in. Well, the hose is gonna come this way and then over to the filter, and then from the filter, as you saw, the elbow is gonna come down and it's gonna go here back to the tank. So it's a 3-line system. I don't need a 3-line system, but that's what they gave me. Might as well install it. It's not gonna hurt me. More options for me. I'm gonna get to the tank now so I can get the fittings on properly and figure out the length of the hoses that I need to order. All right, guys, see you when it's done. All right, so now that we have the pump on, and I decided to install this bar over here, got it fastened. I have this fitting on already. This is the fitting that's gonna go into the trailer. That's where the oil filter is going to sit, or was supposed to sit. I decided to take it off, and the final decision is to go with a 2-line system. And the reason why is I decided to go with the 2-line system is I read in the instructions that the return line going back to the tank has to be above the minimum, or has to be below the minimum level of oil while the cylinder is fully extended. So when I had this tank originally made, modified, before that I decided to go with the only 2-line, because that's all I need for the dump trucks, for the end dump. But since I had it off, I told the guy, you know what, just make another inch and a quarter return hole so I can do a 3-line. I mean, the pump comes with an option of a 2-line or a 3-line. The only difference between a 2-line is this is the 3rd line going into the filter and then comes back into the tank. That's the 3rd line. That's the only difference. If we eliminate this, we're going to be left with this feed line, and then this is going to act as a feed line into the cylinder of the trailer, and also as a return line back into the same. So it's basically going to be like this. That's a 2-line system. 3-line system is going in, going up, coming back, and then going up into this, and then coming back. 3-line system is good for other applications, walking floor trailers, I believe, maybe step decks, or something that's constantly needs hydraulic fluid flowing and coming back at the same time. Not at the same time, but I guess it's a matter of forgetting to leave the pump running, and they can burn the pump. Not only that, obviously it's going to clean the oil. That's what the filter's for. Might extend the life of the pump. I don't know. I've talked to so many guys that run a 2-line and they're perfectly fine as long as you don't forget to turn off the pump. So the reason why I decided to go back to 2-line is because I'm thinking this return line is too high. The hole is too high. Therefore, I'm just gonna cap it off, take this off, and take the filter off, and just go ahead with the 2-line system. Yeah, so I got that on. I got to get a cap for this, take that off, not a big deal. And so I started retrofitting the the tower. Basically, this is what's gonna make the controls. And so I decided to put it right here, drill some holes. I used this bracket for, 1 second, sorry guys. I used the bracket that was supposed to be for the filter to raise up the tower a little bit, because it was, in my opinion, was way too low. So basically, this is going to sit like this over here. I got the holes drilled for the wiring and put the bolts in. Had to drill a couple of holes in the original tower. This is how this tower was originally. With that bracket, it gave me about a halfway up, and it's basically, when you sit, it's a very nice reach. You don't have to bend over, so that should be okay. I'm just gonna install that, and after that I'm gonna start running the hoses and the wiring. Also, I'm gonna hook up to this. I'm gonna hook up the tarp control. Might be something like this right next to it, so I have all the lines running together. I was thinking about putting it on the dash. I don't want to put too many things on the dash. Might be overcrowded. That's why all this is off. But I'll just leave it here. I also wanted to leave space around here for like a cooler or something, you know, lunchbox. But most of the guys, they put them on here, so this is what I'm gonna do. It's easier, less lines to pull. Otherwise, I'd have to pull it through the firewall, bringing it back here, or drill holes over there. I don't want to do that. And this should be fine. So, yep. Let me hook this up. Well, first let me run the lines, and I'll go over the lines with you guys once I go over the lines in the instructions. Shouldn't be too complicated, so we'll see. And we're back, guys. I have no idea what happened. All my videos got deleted for the very last part to put on these hoses and do all the electrical and wiring to the tower. So those videos are gone, so I'm gonna make this part where I'm just basically gonna go over the final steps of installing this PTO and how I did it. It's already installed, so I think it might be even better. Just show you when it's done. So basically, as I mentioned, decided to go with the 2-line system. Got the breather, got this one kept up, as I mentioned. I made a mistake on this. It should have been level with this one in order to make it a 3-line system, but 2-line is fine as well. So I'm gonna get on the bottom to show you basically what I did, how I finished it. Here's the hose for the quick connect that's gonna go to the trailer. Got the tarp finished, got this bar on with the outlet. Basically, this is the hydraulic outlet that's gonna go into the trailer. But as of right now, let's get down to the bottom. We're gonna go over the bottom hoses and air hoses and the hydraulic hoses. And then we're gonna get in the truck and I'm gonna show you the tower, how it came out. Okay guys, so here I installed the main air line going straight from the tank. I did not want to hook up the main air line to other things that operate, for example, like airbags, and you can really tee it and take air from there. But from what I read, it's better to get it directly from the tank. So I did a couple of fittings. This is the valve that controls the PSI. Not controls the PSI, but it makes sure that you know, when there's too much air going, it basically releases the pressure. So it's like a release pressure valve. And then I got the main hose going from here, going into the tower. So the main air has to go to the tower first, and then from there it's going to branch out going into the pump, and from the pump going back up to the tower. So this is the main air line. This is the hose going from the tank. Oil goes into the pump. I got it tied up here, tied up there. Still got to redo this, but it's a little bit too low. This hose is a little bit too long. I measured it, but I decided to give it about a half a foot longer than what I measured, just in case they come out short. But I really didn't need to do that. Should have just been the regular measurement that I had. So I put a couple of rubber protectors with a bracket or a clamp, and it goes into the pump. This one goes in the pump. This one goes out of the pump into that the outlet that I showed you before, and then it goes into the trailer. And then once you lift the trailer, and then once you bring it down, the hydraulic fluid goes back out through the pump and back into the tank. So this is the hydraulic part. Now the air part, let me get a little bit deeper there, and I'll be right with you, and I'll show you what it looks like from the pump going into the tower. All right, guys, as you guys can tell, this pump has already been used. I had to remake the video to show you the final setup. These are the two air hoses that go into the pump. They basically control the pump, which way it's got to move, I guess, up or down. So these two hoses, and we have this electrical harness here that goes into the PTO that controls the gears. It engages and disengages. And so basically just electrical wires from the PTO, two air lines going into the tower, or I should say from the tower. And here are all the lines running, put it together, tied up. And yeah, that's it. Not much to it. And then we're gonna get out from under the truck, and I'll show you the tower, what it looks like, how it came out. And this should be the final thing, final step. All right, guys, so this is the tower, the way it came up. These hoses for the switches are obviously the quick connects that I have for the trailer. That has nothing to do with the pump. This switch, I installed it here. This is for the tarp. Got the lines going. As you guys can remember, I used that bracket to let the tower sit a little bit higher. Much more comfortable, much better reach. And here are, if you guys can tell, the wires going from the bottom, the main tank, main valve going into the valve, and the two hoses coming out, plus the electrical going into the tower. And then when you engage, the light should go on, and use the lever to lift the dump and put it back down. So this is it, guys. Obviously I had to redo the video, the last part, and I was trying to edit the other ones, and I realized that something happened on the last part that all my videos are gone. So I had to redo the video, which is much later than when I was installing all of this. But as we continue, we did a lot of things on this truck just to bring it up to specs, maintenance. We did the tank, put on the PTO, put on the pump, did all the electrical. quite a lot of stuff that's been done to this truck before. The next step was to find a trailer. Now, I did already find a trailer. I already bought it. This is the big announcement. And the next video is going to be basically going over the trailer. And yeah, stay tuned, guys. It's a beautiful trailer. I'm not gonna say too much about it. Come back and watch it, and we'll go over all the specs. I'll show you how it operates, and yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit. So yeah, this is gonna be it for the install, the maintenance on the truck. Next video, the trailer. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Adios.